So the music supervisor, he does the licensing of the music. And the licensing of the music means you must get the rights. You can't just choose a song. You must get the legal rights to the song. So often you hire someone like myself or some of my colleagues, other music supervisors, and we have these relationships with the record companies and with the music publishers who represent the writers of the songs. And we have these relationships to help get you the songs that you might want. And we also can give you an understanding of the budgets and be able to tell you this is not possible because Michael Jackson doesn't want his music in movies. Only until Prince passed away could you use his music in movies, and soon they're going to start putting more Prince into movies. But in the past, he really wasn't something that he wanted to have done. So the music supervisor has experience in the music industry and the record industry, and they can help you sort of figure out the best approach. Other responsibilities of the music supervisor. So we sit with the director, and what we do is we spot the film, S-P-O-T. We spot the project, and we watch it with the director and maybe a producer, maybe an editor, and we choose what are the areas where music should be. Is there a special montage that's going to be created? Of course, when you spot, you're going to want to think about music for the opening title and for the end title. Then you're listening to other important parts of the movie to determine where it might be appropriate to have a song. Where are you trying to emphasize a scene, and where maybe you're going to choose a song. And you also think about music in terms of a juxtaposition. Does everyone know what that means? A juxtaposition, like completely the opposite. So when we had the apocalypse now, and they're about to go on this run to attack people, all of a sudden you have this classical song come on, which doesn't, it's a complete opposite of what you would expect. You would expect maybe some rock and roll or something really hard, but they do something completely opposite. Quentin Tarantino was really good at these things and figuring out something to completely change it, and then you're like, oh, that's kind of cool, and that really works. So there's different creative approaches to the process. So you spot and you see where is music that's appropriate. Now, the other responsibility of the music supervisor is also to determine where a song should be used and where score should be used. And just to explain, in case you don't know, score is like what a composer might create. In a perfect world, you have actually an orchestra to be able to make the composition. But in smaller budgets, it's maybe only 3 or 4 people, and you use different tricks to make it sound big. So score is like instrumental, sort of classical style. But the score can also be another genre of music with a Latin influence, with a French influence, using accordions or different countries, but it's mostly like instrumental. And it's often done by a composer. So then you compare that to licensing a song. Tom Cruise, Risky Business, he used a classic rock and roll song by Bob Seger. So that is a song that's licensed. So you have to make this decision as a music supervisor with the director to determine which is the right approach. Is it a composition or is it a song? Sometimes a movie can only have one song in it that's licensed because it's just not necessary and everything else is just score driven. But that one scene, that one important scene, all of a sudden is a song. And it can be often an end title of the movie where the director wants you to leave the theater with a feeling, a really happy, feel-good feeling, a happy, you know, Katrina and the Waves, we're walking on sunshine, baby. You know, and you walk out of the theater and you're like, we're walking on sunshine. Like, you feel really a big high. And that's maybe the only song that's used in the entire movie. So it's a strategy that you have to determine as the music supervisor with the director and to see which is the right approach. Many things are dependent upon the budget. So the important thing is, when should the music supervisor be hired? This is really important. A lot of times people make a budget and they don't even include the music supervisor. Mal, not good. No bueno. It's really like you have to pay for music, right? It's creativity, it's art. You hire an actor and you pay him. You want to have music, they should be paid. So it's important to find out and to determine what your budget is ahead of time and make it as part of, make it a line item to make it part of the post-production area. So you create this budget, and then you can determine, you know, what you can get with that budget. Do you have the ability to hire a composer? Sure. How much is a composer? Of course, it depends on the quality of the composer, but a few $1,000s usually. Someone who's new, inexperienced, to take a chance on, maybe it's only $1,000, maybe it's $500. But someone who's experienced, but they really like the project and they know it's a small project, maybe they'll do it for $1,000 US or $2,000 or something like that. So you have to be able to put it into the budget, and too many times budgets are created without the music supervision, and then at the end they're in post and they think, oh, I can just use this song, and then they don't have enough money, and then everyone is like freaking out in the end. So the most important thing is to make sure that the budget has the music supervision and the music itself, so you can work and determine the best quality situation possible. What that number is, it just depends. It depends on the size of the project. $1 million film should have maybe 5 to 10% for music. And if it's smaller, then of course your budget is going to be much smaller, but at least you have to have something in there so you can hire a professional composer and you can use a song. Now, if you have a low budget film, maybe it's a student project and you got some government funding and you have $100,000 to make a small indie film. You can't afford, say, Tito Puente or Daddy Yankee or somebody, Mark Anthony, somebody big. But again, like I said earlier, maybe you have a friend who lives in the neighborhood and he's really good and has his own demos. And you say, this is good quality, this is a song about love, this is a song about the streets, this is a song about, you know, a road trip song, and this could possibly work in my project. So then you make a deal directly with this person to get the rights. And it's a great way to have quality music and be able to do it in an affordable way. So it's always possible to figure something out.